I've got the perfect role for Henry Cavill in the DCU. But first, I have to give a shout out to my mom-in-law for this awesome mic holder thing she got me for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. Now, I know I'm not the only one bummed about Henry Cavill not returning as Superman. I think David Corenswet will probably do a great job. Looks good in the trailer. Did get to do a lot of acting. It's just a teaser trailer. We didn't really see a lot of his acting, but we know he can act from other things, and he definitely looks the part. But it will be a shame if Cavill does not play some role in the DCU. Fortunately, he's already had some discussions with James Gunn about future collaborations. Gunn's confirmed that they met to explore other roles that Cavill might play in the DCU. So the door is wide open, and it's just going to come down to whether they can find a role that interests Cavill and one that is going to drive the story forward that Gunn's trying to tell in the larger DC universe. And I've got a good idea for him. About to text James Gunn about it right now, as soon as I finish this video and get his number. I already wrote the text. It's long, but basically I just say that Hank, we're cool like that. Where I can call him Hank. Or at least he hadn't officially told me we're not. Anyway, Hank is one of the best actors for superhero movies, mainly because he's a fan first. You always hear about these actors having to do their homework for a role, like Aaron Pierre. Right now he's studying comics. He's getting ready for his role as Green Lantern John Stewart in Lanterns. And I'm glad he's putting in the work. That's cool. I think most people who are in comic book movies have to do that. I don't think comic book roles should only go to comic book fans. That'd be crazy. But when you've got a guy who really understands the universe, and he's a great actor, and the fans love him, why not give him another shot? Especially since I've got the perfect role for him. Deathstroke. What? Am I crazy? Crazy? Deathstroke? Deathstroke. It would only be the second time Henry Cavill played a villain, but I think it's time for him to spread his wings and be a bit more evil, fictionally. Think about it. Cavill was great as brooding anti-hero Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. He was also great the one time he played a villain in Mission Impossible Fallout.
I know you don't want me on this detail, but let's face it. If you'd made the hard choice in Berlin, I wouldn't be here. If you have a problem with my methods, you can always stay behind. Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
He was a very cold, calculating bad guy. You combine those two energies, and you've got the perfect candidate for Deathstroke the Terminator. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, wasn't Joe Manganiello supposed to be Deathstroke? That's true. But unfortunately for Joe and fans of Deal or No Deal Island, is the operative word. He gave us a killer first look at the character in Justice League and was set to play a huge role in Ben Affleck's The Batman before the DCEU collapsed. And he still wanted the part and even wrote a screenplay for a movie about the character. But in an interview with comicbook.com, he said that after a decade of trying to bring his vision of Deathstroke to life, James Gunn himself told him to let it go. Literally, let it go. And they're supposed to be buds. That's cold. So even though Jim Lee loved the screenplay enough to suggest turning it into a graphic novel, the chances of Manganiello returning to the role on screen are close to zero. Very close. Like as close as you can get without actually being there. Which brings us back to Henry Cavill. This isn't just about finding someone to replace Manganiello, it's about taking Deathstroke to the next level. Cavill has the physicality, the intensity, and maybe most importantly, the star power to turn Slade Wilson into a flagship character for the DCU. He could face off against the DCU's Batman. They could use him in a Suicide Squad capacity. Or most excitingly, sources told Hollywood Reporter that DC Studios is working on a movie featuring Deathstroke and Bane. Nothing's set in stone with that yet, but you got to imagine that if Cavill's attached, it'd be a slam dunk. So what do you think? Would you like to see Henry Cavill as Deathstroke? Or do you have another role in mind for him? Or do you hate him? Who do you want to see as Deathstroke? Let me know in the comments, and if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe.